James, have you been getting high again? Where have you been?
It's none of your business.
But you're on our time. You're at work.
I am supposed to get 5 breaks a day if I was in a union.
You're not in a union. And anyway, if you were, you would have to be drug tested, and you'd never pass and lose your job.
I'm not in a union. If you want to talk about unions, then why am I not making $45 an hour?
You brought the union thing up. I corrected you because you brought it up.
Well, speaking of money, I need a raise.
You just got $1 raise 3 months ago.
Yeah, but your dad has a boat and bought a tractor.
My dad has a cheap aluminum boat, and he has a lot of acres of land. He has to have a tractor to mow his yard. What does it have to do with you getting a raise?
We are all not rich like you and your daddy.
But my father was the youngest of 10 children. His father was a criminal and abused his wife and kids. And my father was poor. He shined shoes and worked for people when he was a little kid. He has worked hard all his life. He served his country in the military. He worked 7 days a week and hustled all his life to make a living. He built all his business from the ground up. And I have worked since I was a kid too.
What does that have to do with me?
You said we were born rich.
My old boss used to give me a 25-cent raise every 6 months.
But when you left, you were only making $8.25. You make about twice that working for us.
That doesn't have anything to do with it. It's the gesture of giving a raise.
So what if my dad cut your pay to $8.50 and gave you a quarter raise every 6 months?
The truth comes out. Your family is greedy.
How are we greedy when we pay you more than any other company for your level of skill?
It's a shame some people can drive Cadillacs to work and some people have to get a ride and don't even have a vehicle.
I pay for my Cadillac. I am also twice your age. And my father is in his 60s.
Yes, and I am 24 and can do your job.
You can't even do what you are told to do every day. How can you do my job?
I know how to run a business.
How many businesses have you run?
That doesn't matter. I could tell you what to do.
But when I tell you what to do, you try and tell me I'm not really in charge, and you have a lack of respect for authority.
Yes, because you make more money than me. I should at least make what you make. And no one is in charge of me.
But you don't know how to do a lot of things I do every day.
That doesn't have anything to do with it.
And anyway, I only make about $100 more a week than you and Joe. And I have 5 kids and a mortgage. You live with your mom and have no bills.
It was your choice to fuck and have kids. That's not my problem.
That's not what I'm talking about. I have way more bills than you do, and yet I still make it.
Because you make more than me.
Not after you subtract all the shit I have to pay for, a mortgage, bills, gas and all the kids. You should have more money than me because you have no expenses.
I have to buy cigarettes every day.
Well, no one made you smoke.
Well, I'm not giving up smoking for anybody. I can't afford to eat fancy food for lunch like you do.
But my food only costs maybe $1 more than the McDonald's you buy. You buy $20 worth of cigarettes every day. I couldn't afford that.
Yes, because you buy fancy food like Subway or expensive places like Chick-fil-A.
But those places aren't that much more than maybe $1 more a meal. Maybe you have no money because you are always buying drugs.
That's not your business.
But when you complain to me about money and I see you buy $200 worth of pills a week, I see why you are broke.
It's none of your business how I spend my money. And you drink Diet Coke. And that bottled water is bad for you.
But you complain about how my father and I spend our money all of the time.
Yes, because you own things that are put up in my face.
So I'm supposed to not have anything nice for myself because it bothers you that you chose to get high with your money and I buy things I need with mine?
Yes, because you're showing off that you make more money than I do.
You made almost $800 last week. Then you were asking Joe to borrow money the next day. You left $150 worth of losing lottery tickets in the truck. Why did you waste money on that many lottery tickets?
I won $15 on one of them.
But that makes no sense. What happened to the other money?
My aunt had to go to the hospital.
How did that cost you money? Doesn't everyone in your family get food stamps and welfare and free healthcare from the government because they cheat the system?
She needed money and she got some good pain pills for her prescription. So I had to buy them from her. I guess a rich boy like you doesn't understand about helping people.
So you spent all your money on drugs?
I was just helping her out. My drug use is none of your business.
But when you get high you forget things and cost us money.
How is everything my fault?
For example, last week you forgot to tie down a $400 extension ladder, and it fell off the truck.
How was that my fault?
You didn't tie it. You removed the ladder from the top of the truck, and then put it back on with no ties at all. That could have caused an accident or gotten someone killed.
Yes, and if I would have gotten hurt I would own this company right now. I would sue you and your dad and I'd be your boss. You're in charge. You should have checked.
As a matter of fact, I did ask you and you said some smart-ass comment about how this isn't your first rodeo. And how I needed to trust my employees more and quit treating them like idiots. In fact, I always check you guys and you always talk some kind of angry shit every time I'm doing that.
It was your dad's fault too.
How is that?
Because he called me when I was on the job and got on my nerves asking me questions about the job. You know how I am on Friday when I am out of pills. You should have known my withdrawals are kicking in because I am broke.
But then you are constantly telling me how your drug use has no effect on your work.
Whatever. So what? My withdrawals are none of your business. And anyway, if I made enough money I wouldn't have run out of pills.
But when you have withdrawals you mess things up and can communicate with anyone. You have to be able to communicate to run a business.
You're the one bitching about me doing drugs. If I had big money like you I would have had enough tabs to get me through the week. My drugs don't affect the company at all.
But you cost us $400 last week.
That was part your fault and part your dad's fault too. Plus I make this company money. Your dad makes thousands of dollars off of one house.
But he pays out labor costs and also pays out around $70,000 a month for materials and expenses. People work hard and earn money so they can buy the things that create a business. They make choices that lead to being able to do better with their lives. People don't go into business to not earn money.
Yes, because greedy people like you and your dad use people like me to make money.
How are we being greedy when we pay you a fair wage every week?
Because you keep all the profit for yourself.
So you expect people to be in business to not make a profit? Why would people open a business if they are not making money?
You just proved my point. You are all about yourselves. Don't worry, I will be out of here soon. My family member has terminal cancer and will die soon. I already have a plan to sell enough of the pills that are left over to get a car at the buy here pay here lot.
You'll just end up taking all those pills. And anyway, what kind of sick plan is that to be waiting for a relative to die and steal their pills?
I got you rich people figured out. You are always trying to bring guys like me down. I'm not listening to this negative stuff anymore. You'll see when I'm gone. I'm not letting all this negative talk bring me down.